Brian and Vinny Show with your hosts, Brian Alvarez and Big Vinny V.
All right, it's the Brian Vinny Show here with Craig, January 29, 2019, figure4online.com/wrestlingobserver.com. Craig's back after an illness hiatus, and we've got Raw Nitro again. Nothing's changed in your long hiatus, Craig.
I noticed.
Same shitty shows.
I actually watched the shows, just wasn't on the show.
Actually, the Raw show was a lot of fun, and the best thing all night was on Nitro. I'd say the best thing in years on Nitro was on Nitro.
That's fair.
I loved every moment of it. But yes, we do still begin with Raw.
Well then.
And we may until the end of Nitro if there's going to be something like Ric Flair and Terry Funk on the show every week to spice things up.
WWF Monday Night Raw number 349, January 31st of the year 2000. So
That was very grave the way you said that, Vinny.
Didn't mean it. I meant it to be, not grave, but significant, important.
Sure.
The year 2000.
You know, I mean, it's been like that for a month, but yes, very significant.
All we do all year.
Okay.
Just so you know. So we're in Pittsburgh. It's sold out. It's the night after the Super Bowl. And we open with the New Age Outlaws versus Al Snow and Steve Blackman.
Okay, I can't even wait. That fucking Super Bowl commercial that they aired on this show.
Horrible. Which one? They're all horrible.
Dude, the one with the old people.
Awful.
That was the worst commercial I've ever seen.
That's the one they banned.
In any genre.
I'm not sure it was their worst Super Bowl commercial on the show. All three of them were terrible.
I don't remember the other two. I must have skipped them. What were the other two?
Babies?
Oh yeah, that one sucked.
What was
I
it?
didn't see that.
Oh, the beauty pageant fight.
People's Eyebrow. I didn't see the beauty pageant fight. I must have skipped that one.
Just what it sounds like.
God damn. Was it the best one?
Probably.
It sounds like it would have to be.
By default, yeah.
Were there good-looking women in it?
Yes, there were.
Okay, so it had to be.
Yeah, that had
The
one.
other two had babies and old people.
This one had one good thing going for it. They covered the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
Babies, good-looking people.
Dude, the old folks home was by far the worst commercial I've ever seen. Like, it's not even about wrestling.
None of them are.
It's a bunch of old people just like... that's a nice way to say this. I mean, they portrayed them this way. It's a bunch of old people that are like all messed up.
Delusional.
Throwing their bedpans at the wall.
Dementia.
Like, the big thing is WWE Entertainment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what fucking person's watching the Super Bowl and sees this shitty commercial and goes, you know, I'm going to turn on Raw on Monday. I want to see more old fucking people throwing their bedpans at the wall. Full bedpans, I might add. I just couldn't even believe my eyes.
They all had attitude, I suppose.
They were shit. That was the theme that they had running through all of them that I saw. Shit.
I don't think that was the strategic
I remember
plan.
when IATA went out of business, and before they went out of business, they ran all these ads in these big national magazines, these fucking expensive ads, and it would be just like, there'd be a picture of something, totally random, and it would just say, IATA. What? And when I found out how they spent on those fucking ads and how much they were paying me for that show, I was fucking furious. And they went out of business. Like, what? I don't know. Fucking A, dude. It's just a shitty commercial.
So Steve Blackman is sick of silly names. He wants to go kick some outlaw ass. Al has one more idea. It's Snowstorm.
Yes, this was the most painfully unfunny thing. This was his... I mean, maybe Al wrote those Super Bowl commercials. He's out there trying to be funny. And, like, Steve Blackman, of all people, is sympathetic. He's like, dude, we have a chance to win the tag titles tonight. Will you just shut the fuck up and we can go out and win the titles? Al's busy. How about snowballs? He's got underwear. He has a good laugh as they go out there. I was furious.
So as they're doing the entrances, out come the fucking Radicals.
Yep. But we didn't know they were the Radicals.
Oh,
Jim Ross said radical 55 times in like a 1 hour period.
So, for those of you who have not been paying attention to the show for the past year, I guess, and have forgotten the last 2 decades of history, it's Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn, fresh off of long runs and prominent roles on WCW.
Somewhat prominent. I mean, they left. They walked out because it sucked.
They were on TV every week.
They were on TV every week, yes.
And my memory of this, I know we've been talking about this for a while. First, I thought it happened earlier. Then I thought it happened still another week later, but didn't have it yet. Now it finally happens, and I remember this being like a huge part of the deal. Like the camera comes up and the focus of the show is on, look, the Radicals are here. No, they come out during Al Snow's entrance.
Yeah.
They are at least shown on camera and acknowledged. But they just come out, sit down. Al says hi. He knows them all.
Yeah, he knows them from ECW, so he hugs them all.
Yeah, yeah. So the match begins.
Do you remember how badly they fucked it up immediately?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
It's already ruined.
It is. But, so, the match begins as Ross is talking about how these guys have been negotiating with ECW and Japanese promotions. They left the company they were working for because it was a lousy place to work. There's a chance for Eddie 2 minutes in. So maybe it's just me, but I felt like everyone on the show was working harder tonight. Maybe because there was more competition there now. And Ross pointed it out, like, the Outlaws appear to be showing off for these guys from down south. I thought, I think they are. So, Road Dogg match goes like 3 minutes. Road Dogg gets thrown into the Radicals. They go to help him up, and he punches them, so they kill him. And there's an exploder and a frog splash for Billy, and he suplexes and a headbutt for Road Dogg, and Al's music plays, and everyone just walks to the back.
Boy, is Dean Malenko short.
Very small.
He was shorter than ever here on this show. He's got to be significantly shorter than me.
Probably.
Because Eddie was my height.
Yeah, yes.
And Malenko looks much shorter.
Yeah, he can barely see over the barricade.
Saturn gives Billy Gunn this huge exploder, and Eddie does the frog splash, and Dean grabs Road Dogg, who's not a small person.
No, he's twice his size.
And he takes him for a suplex, and I thought to myself, what are you going to do?
It was like Hornswoggle and Marco Stunt, kind of, except a tall guy. That's like me and Marco Stunt. But he never lifted me.
What's that?
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah. Very short guy.
Yep.
So backstage, Cactus Jack thanks the Radicals for accepting his invitation to come. Says you can come here to a place with lots of fans who pay for their tickets. They're all going to make some noise, and you got to make noise if you want to get over. Kurt Angle comes out for a promo. When he comes out, his music plays, he's cutting a promo, and it's like, okay, he's going to come out and wrestle. And they casually announce he's wrestling The Rock tonight.
Yes.
So like, Angle versus Rock in the opener? I guess it wasn't the opener, but just random first-hour match?
Do you know how many times I had that same look on my face
Yeah.
for like 30 things on this show?
Well, that too.
Like Kane and Tori are together?
Yes.
What?
No.
X-Pac.
X-Pac and Tori and DDP and Kimberly are back together on the other show?
Yep.
Shit, what's going on?
So they did at least promote the match for 20 minutes. Because Angle came in here and cut a promo about it.
Yeah, he cut a promo about how he's still undefeated in the WWF, which, by the way, he's not. He was beaten last week, but he's not been pinned. And tonight he will face The Rock, and he buries a town. Just to make sure he gets booed in Pittsburgh. And I guess there was concern they might boo The Rock.
You never know. So, yes, he did, in fact, question the courage of Mario Lemieux, who at this point was taking a sabbatical from hockey to deal with his cancer. So, the first WWF Super Bowl commercial aired. There's babies, they're farting, they're pissing, and it ends.
Yeah, sweet commercial.
This is designed to lure new viewers to their show.
Hey, if you're listening to this right now and you got lured into WWE by these commercials, I want you to contact me.
Let us know.
I'm going to start keeping track.
Yeah. The Outlaws go to Hunter. They complain about the Radicals. Hunter says, you started it. It's your problem. Big Show and his new haircut storm in.
He suggests they go kick their ass.
Yeah.
That's his suggestion.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Big Show cut his hair off, and he grew facial hair.
Yes.
And he looks like a giant buff bag.
That's exactly. It didn't hit
from
me.
the neck up, not from the neck down.
No. It didn't hit me here, but when he does his match and he like pats his hair down and wipes his mustache like Buff does, giant Buff Bagwell.
Bury his haircut.
It's awful.
Everybody on the show buries his haircut.
Hunter called him Gomez. And I thought that was very spot on.
At some point, somebody calls him Freddie Mercury. Maybe on SmackDown. I remember it vividly.
The stash is there.
Yeah. So, Show at last has proof. Oh, Brian. It's going to be weeks of this, dude, just so you know. Show has proof that The Rock's feet hit first in the Royal Rumble.
Does this asshole know what the word proof means? Okay, it's not a guy who saw it that says he saw it.
Yeah.
That's not proof.
An eyewitness account of the security guard says, I saw Rock's feet hit.
Great.
And Show says, first. You saw it hit first. Hunter says, I can't take the word of the security guy. I need video.
A hell of a witness.
Christian versus Devon Dudley.
Yes.
A singles match because Edge got his mouth busted up on SmackDown. Christian has his own lame, generic rock theme. Bubba takes a referee. Edge hits what I hope is the last super kick of his career because it was terrible. And Christian hits a reverse DDT for the win. The Dudleys after the match go to beat up Edge and put them through tables, but the Hardys make the save. And Matt DDT's Devon through a table, and Jeff puts Bubba through one with a senton.
How many angles are we going to see on this show where there's multiple baby faces beating up a small number of heels?
At least 2, when I think about it.
Yes, this is weird.
Yeah.
They talked about Edge's stitches. He had like 10 inside and 8 out, or something like that.
It looked nasty.
Oh, it's bad.
Let's see. Cactus and the Radicals.
What happened to Edge and the women? Did it get dropped?
There was no women out
It's
here.
not a thing this week.
There were no mention of him getting married and women being thrown in. That's weird.
I don't know. See,
Bad time to have a busted up mouth.
Indeed. Cactus and the Radicals.
Trude is a good time to have that problem. Yes, Foley with the Radicals, Edge, Christian, and the Hardys.
Yes.
Brian is not a giving love.
Here's another one, Vinny.
Yeah.
Another one. The Mean Street Posse show up and they get beat up by 15 people.
Well, they got beat by 4, but it's still 4 out of 3.
Well, there was Edge, Christian, Hardys, and Foley.
The Radicals are the ones doing the actual beating.
Well, I know, but I mean, the other guys.
The other 4 were sitting there watching.
Yeah, they were
frankly,
watching the door.
Any 2 of these Radicals against these Mean Street Posse would still be an unfair fight against the Posse. So 2 of them is still, 4 of them is still very unfair. So yeah, they beat up the Posse. Too Cool versus the Big Show.
I remember Too Cool being a little higher in the pecking order than they end up being.
Yes.
Like, people love Rikishi. They love to see them dance. They are total jobbers.
Yes.
Well,
They're out
Rikishi
here.
wasn't here.
They are
Every week getting beat up like geeks.
They are beloved opening card geeks.
Yes. They're how could you describe them? High-level enhancement talent?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're over, but they never look any good at all. They get buried every week. Big Show destroys them.
It's a handicap match.
It was a handicap match.
Big Show beats up both of these men by himself.
A few minutes, he hit Scotty with an awesome choke slam.
Yes, he did.
He's got him up in the sky just forever with one hand. Hits a powerbomb on Grandmaster Sexay. And here was where it occurred to me, oh my god, he's giant Buff Bagwell. Why would you choose to emulate Buff Bagwell's haircut? So before he can leave, The Rock is there for a promo to make fun of the Big Show and his hair. Tells him to go back to Supercuts, get his $5 back. And he vows to beat Kurt Angle tonight. I just like it because they've given up now and even having people interview The Rock. They just put up a camera on him and say, go.
And guess what? It works.
And it works great. He's the fucking Rock.
If I were Supercut, I would have filed a lawsuit.
For this haircut? Defamation
There's
of
no way
character.
we'd have that
Defamation of character, like $5.
We have never given a haircut this bad.
No, it's $1 at most.
We'll pay you to let us cut your hair like that. Rock versus Kurt Angle.
Dude. So, they have a fun match.
I'll say.
Angle tries to leave. Taz runs down, throws him in the ring. And, like, I just know it's coming, and I'm like, you're not going to do this. Sure as shit. Rock is a spine buster. He hits a people's elbow. And the ref counts 1, 2, 3. A random match on a random Raw. And the win streak of Kurt Angle is just over.
He has definitely been pinned.
Vince has no idea how to do streaks.
No.
Now, I know that everyone's going to say, well, what about the Undertaker streak? That's a streak he had to worry about one time a year.
Yeah.
He is fucking flabbergasted at the idea of a man being unable to be beaten. He fucks it up with everybody throughout history.
Including recent times.
Dude, why can't you build up to a big show like Kurt Angle and he loses his first match? Why is it? This wasn't even built in advance. There's no reason his streak should have ended here tonight.
No, they could have got...
Except we can't figure out what to do with Kurt if we can't beat him.
Just like...
Fuck.
They could have built this up and actually made some money on a pay-per-view.
That's it.
Well,
He was defeated.
that is... You're all right. You're all correct. That is the glass half empty version. Glass half full version is, this match is awesome.
It was like 6 minutes, Vinny. They're gonna have like 50 more great matches.
I'm sure they'd be great too.
They could have not beat the fucking guy.
That's all true.
Imagine how long a match they could have had on pay-per-view.
It would have been longer.
They will have a
Would've been
longer match
better.
on pay-per-view.
Yes.
Jesus.
You know, I think the Rock Angle feud, or rivalry, I'm gonna call it, gets kind of forgotten. Because you think of Rock with Hunter, you think of Rock with Austin, and you think of Angle working more with, like, well, Hunter actually, and Jericho and all those guys. Angle and Rock worked together a lot. It was always awesome from the get-go, as we saw right here.
I mean, at least with like, I don't It's just stupid.
Did we mention that after the match, Taz throws a clothesline at Kurt, and Kurt ducks, and Taz lays out The Rock?
Yeah. Like, why can't Taz have beaten Kurt Angle? Like, a new guy coming in.
He did.
Well, he did.
I mean, give him something where he pins the guy. I know that he did whatever he did with his illegal hold or whatever, but, like, pin him now. Get the guy over.
Legal.
No, they had to get over The Rock. A guy struggling his way to the top of the cards here.
Needs a kickstart.
Like, how the fuck did this benefit? Nobody. It didn't help Kurt. It didn't help the fucking Rock. It didn't help Taz. It didn't help anybody. That's it. So it was a stupid idea. I don't care how good the match was for 6 minutes. I don't even think it went 6 minutes. I think it went 4. Anybody got the time?
Didn't do it.
I'd be happy to go back and watch again.
Do it.
No, I'll load it up right now.
How about you do it later?
Okay. Mean Street Posse bribed the Acolytes to beat up the Radicals, or actually they just wanted to be protected from the Radicals.
If this was a cartoon, a light bulb would have went off over Bradshaw's head. He says, I got an idea.
Yeah, he says people will pay us to protect them. I got a plan. Jericho and China walk. Tori and X-Pac, who are a couple now, walk. Val, Godfather, D'Lo, and Test to beat the Radicals. Saturn's very happy to meet the Godfather's women. X-Pac versus Jericho in a non-title
Not just
match.
happy, he asked for him.
Yeah. It worked.
Got any hot women? Hot loose women? Godfather says, sure as hell do, buddy. And a new friendship was made.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I know.
X-Pac versus Jericho in a non-title match. China gets her own entrance even though she's not in the match. Complete with her pyro bazooka.
You'll never guess who gets another win. The man cannot be beaten.
Is it X-Pac?
He's better than Kurt Angle.
He's the new X-Pac.
He does in fact win, even despite the fact China interferes.
Why is he with Tori?
There was a dust-up on the pay-per-view.
When was this?
Royal Rumble 2 weeks ago.
There was a dust-up.
Weren't Kane and Tori together on Raw last week?
I believe they were. I could be wrong.
I could have sworn they were.
Well, the point is, like,
At some
a
point,
video package might have helped.
Sure.
2 minutes,
Or
guys.
some explanation of
2
some
minutes
sort.
of what happened on SmackDown.
Well, Brian, look it up.
I don't know. I read this Observer. I don't know why they're together.
Regardless, she's with X-Pac now. She hits Jericho with a belt, causing Jim Ross to shout, "What a bitch!"
I couldn't even believe my ears.
And X-Pac hits the X Factor for the win.
When you say she hit Jericho with the belt,
I think
5:31. Kurt Angle versus The Rock.
okay, you're both wrong.
Yeah.
Good.
I didn't never say you were wrong twice.
Fuck you.
So
Never wrong.
when she hit him with a belt, screamed the first time. Like I thought she hit him really, really hard.
Yeah.
And then I went back and watched and realized it was like the leather slapping together because it's
Yes.
folded. So because he was fine, but it scared me too. I thought she just hit him, drilled him right in the head.
Funniest part about Ross saying "what a bitch" is Lawler is appalled.
Yes.
Yeah.
He cannot believe it.
The cat is backstage walking in her snow bunny costume. And then the new competitor, her rival tonight, Harvina, walking in a snow bunny costume, which is just like a snowsuit.
Yes.
The second Super Bowl ad, I assume, I'm not even sure what this was, but there was a beauty pageant and a fight broke out.
Yes.
Cool.
The Acolytes are discussing business and the card game. Bradshaw has sign ideas already. Little A, big P, little A. The Dudleys want to hire them now. Business is booming. Say they'll write them a check, which Bradshaw laughs at, but they decide to discuss price. A Snow Bunny Lumberjill match for the women's title.
Bubba has no money, but he'll write a check. And Farouk says, "Fine, if that check bounces, we're going to bounce you."
Yeah.
I don't know if it bounced or not, because there was an argument later. I guess they have to wait till the bank's open.
I was
next
going to say,
day.
they wouldn't- no, yeah. So they built up a little pen here, and they shoveled in a bunch of snow, and they had a match in it. And the cat's out there in her thong bikini with bunny tails.
She had an incredible tan.
Yes,
I
yes.
must give her that. That's literally that and her outfit. are the
Which
only-
showed off the tan.
Are the only good thing. This was. I'm not even exaggerating here. Okay, this was a worst segment of all time contender.
Yes. Yep.
I'm not talking like the worst segment of the week, or the worst segment of the year, or the worst segment of the Attitude Era. I'm talking of all time.
It was really horrible.
Harvey Whippleman in drag against the Cat in a snow match.
And the cover,
They're in the snow.
but they couldn't do anything in a ring anyway. But now they're in a pile of snow.
Fucking nothing looks good. They're slipping. They're falling.
Yeah.
It's for the title. By the way.
Yeah. The other women at ringside are so into this, they're just throwing snowballs at each other.
Yep. And as bad as this is, Jackie punches the Cat. We think.
As far as we can tell.
Because they fucking don't even get it on camera.
No.
All of a sudden, the Cat's just laying in the snow, and Harvey Whippleman in drag pins her, and he is announced as the new women's champion.
Yes.
Okay, so that already is a worst segment of all time contender. You know who makes it worse?
Is it Michael Cole?
This asshole, Michael Cole, gets in the ring, and he, I wanted to reach through the television and wring his neck. He's the most annoying human being on the face of the planet. He thinks this is so funny. But it's the fake funny. He's fake laughing.
Yes.
He's fake talking about how funny this is. But we're supposed to think that he really thinks it's funny. He interviews Harvey. Harvey speaks in his gravelly voice. Michael Cole, the light bulb goes off over his head. I know your voice. You're Harvey Whippleman. Then something happens. I guess he got shoved down.
The wig comes off.
The wig comes off. Cole's laughing. Ha ha ha! It's so funny. You think it's funny? Yes, I think this is hilarious. I hated this. I hated this so much I almost quit. I almost quit the show.
It was fucking terrible.
No, Vinny. I need more.
Well, here's what I wrote here. This was the absolute zero of pro wrestling.
Yes, a little better.
Thank you.
Did you have to take a walk?
I have to take a walk.
I damn near had to take a walk.
It was too short for me to have to take a walk. But yes, this is it, in every single way a pro wrestling segment can be horrible. This achieved it. Did you mention Michael Cole's cutting question when he goes to interview the new champion? Harvina, the mystery competitor, is there holding up her new belt, and Michael Cole asks, "Where are you from, and what do you do?" What do you do? She's a dishwasher, Michael.
Well, I mean,
She works at a bowling
She
alley.
hadn't been a wrestler before, so maybe she had worked at a bowling alley.
Sure.
You know, I'm sure Michael Cole is a wonderful human being.
Why do you always say that?
I'm glad of all of the people that he's hired, like Nigel McGuinness, and given them jobs. But when I heard that Bruce Pritchard apparently said that we're all going to miss Michael Cole when he's no longer doing commentary, I fucking virtually vomited. Like,
Wait a second.
how many WWE shows is he not doing commentary on now? Half of them?
Wait a second. When I'm watching NXT, I miss Michael Cole.
See, he's an idiot. That's the thing. No one's gonna fucking miss Michael Cole.
No.
Nobody, okay? There's a bunch of shows that he doesn't do.
They're better.
Nobody has ever said, if only Michael Cole was on this show. Never.
When I'm watching New Japan World,
Fuck that. I'm talking any of the other WWE shows that he's not on. Has anyone ever on SmackDown said, you know, this show would be fucking better if Michael Cole were here?
Right.
That's what this show is missing, is Michael Cole.
I like 205
No one's
Live.
ever
But if
said
Michael
that.
Cole is calling, it'd be better.
If Michael Cole were here calling NXT, the show would surely be the show of the year. No one's ever said that, ever in the history of mankind. Yeah, people have said, man, if only JR were back. Or boy, do I miss JR.
Absolutely.
Or man, I look back at the 90s and JR was fucking unbelievable. I hear that shit every day. No one even looks back and goes, man, look at how great Michael Cole was in the 90s. There's no period ever where anybody has said, boy, look at how great Michael Cole is. How the fuck with this can you say, when Michael Cole's no longer doing commentary, you will miss him? How can you fucking say that? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I can do a poll, like, is Sasha a babyface or a heel? It'll be 50-50,
Right.
okay? I can ask a million fucking questions, all right? And I'm going to get some sort of split response. Anything, what was the best match of the Royal Rumble? What was better, the Becky-Asuka match or the Sasha-Ronda match? You're going to get varying opinions. Who the fuck has ever said Michael Cole He will be missed when he is no longer doing commentary. No one ever, except apparently Bruce Pritchard. Just wanted to get that out.
I feel better.
All right.
I feel a little better.
Okay.
I just could not even fucking believe my ears. No way! Right?
What's wrong with you?
Fuck!
Freedom's in the corner, man.
I mean, I've said some stupid things before, okay?
You should start a news.
But I'm pretty sure the dumbest thing I've ever said, at least one person agreed with, okay? None. Nobody. This is a level of
That's the
insanity.
weirdest flex I've ever heard.
This is the level of insanity I cannot even begin to fathom.
So Cactus Jack and the Radicals go for a walk.
I wish I would have gone with them.
You get some shots of WWF New York. So, correct me if I'm wrong here, but 2 weeks ago, Cactus Jack met Triple H at Madison Square Garden, and they used a variety of weapons to attempt to incapacitate, wound, and perhaps kill each other, right?
Yes, you're right.
They're talking to each other. I won't say like pals. There was tension, but they were on speaking terms.
Sure.
Cactus Jack and Triple H.
Yeah, well, they got some business to attend.
Mutual respect for each other after beating each other senseless.
Cactus Jack pitches the Radicals to Hunter and Steph. You should hire Benoit and Guerrero and Saturn and Malenko. Hunter does not deny their talent, but says this is their show, they're in charge. I will think about giving them an opportunity.
He doesn't deny their talent on screen.
Yeah. We have our second handicap match of the show when Viscera takes on the Holly Cousins. The only good thing about this match was in the sign. We, of course, are watching a show that is nicknamed Raw is War. Well, apparently there's a guy named Raul in the crowd because he holds up Raul is War. I laughed, and I laughed, and I
That
laughed.
is literally the only good thing about this horrible...
Do you realize
Do you realize that this match was unopposed and still lost a half a ratings point?
Amazing.
Okay, what does that tell you?
Well, it tells you you should have lost all ratings points. Some people have bad enough taste to stay tuned. Listen, we were talking about the Rock match, how I didn't time it. I timed how long it went. It was just Crash and Bob punching and stomping Viscera. Because I thought it was going to be at least 10 minutes legit. It turned out it was exactly 3. 3 minutes of them just stomping Vis as he laid there. Crowd is deathly bored. They're chanting boring. They're cheering for the Steelers. Eventually, Bob and Crash dogpile on Vis, hold his leg down for the win. This fucking sucked. And then Viscera made his comeback and squished Crash anyway. What the fuck was this?
I don't know, but I got a headache.
The third
Loosen your headband.
rejected Super Bowl ad. It is, in fact, the old people who are sleeping and acting like wrestlers.
Tell me this was rejected.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck.
This is the one they turned down.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. And I actually did. I snapped watching this too. I was like, who? This is designed to lure new viewers in.
Yes.
The idea was all these millions and millions of people who watch the Super Bowl, we'll show them an ad to show them how great our TV show is,
Yes.
and then they'll watch. And the ad is just old people. They didn't show Hunter. They didn't show The Rock.
The Hardys, the
Hardy-
Dudleys,
Cactus,
doing
anyone.
crazy stuff off
They
the
didn't show
ladders.
Vince.
Nothing. This was worse than Michael Cole.
It was. It actually was.
By a significant margin. I will say that.
More from WWF New York. We have clips from Heat of Jim Ross going to Steve Austin's house to do an interview. So Austin's in a neck brace, says he feels good, but the neck brace makes it hard to drink beer. As much as he likes watching deer and catching catfish at his ranch, there's nothing like being in front of the crowd or on TV. Doctors told him to retire after SummerSlam when he got dropped on his head. He's proven them wrong, but in the process caused a lot of problems. Those problems had to be fixed. He lives to drink beer and beat people's ass. And if he was a betting man, he'd bet it himself. Give him 3 or 4 months, he'll be back in the ring. And as they go back to Ross and Lawler in the arena, I should mention also some news in Steve's personal life. He's engaged to be married to Deborah. I hope that goes well.
It does for a while.
Lillian is at WWF New York. She's there to plug a big news conference.
God.
All they know is on Thursday there's going to be a press conference involving the WWF and pro football.
Yep. The announcement is
Lord.
our biggest money year of all time. We're going to lose $45 million on football.
Yeah.
Excellent decision there.
Huh. Yeah.
And the irony.
And then try it again 20 years later.
20 years later,
Those
the
that don't
XFL
learn from
set to
history
return.
are doomed to repeat it. Is that how it goes?
Matt Hardy versus Bubba Ray Dudley. The APA are in fact out there with the Dudleys as promised. So Matt gets a chair, hits Bubba for the DQ. APA then protect the Dudleys by destroying the Hardys. Edge and Christian come out, they get killed too. All I can think of is, if the Acolytes are this big and scary, where they're beating up all the tag teams and everyone is either running from them or hiring them to beat people up,
Yes.
why are they not the tag champs?
That's a great question.
So there's a lot of bickering here between the AP and
They're lazy.
You want to tell them that?
Well, I mean, they'd rather gamble backstage, briefly kick some ass, go back and gamble again.
Champions have a lot of responsibility.
Yes, it's a lot of responsibility
Photo
to
shoots,
be the champion.
appearances. That's
Yeah, personal appearances. They don't want to do that shit.
So they stack up 3 tables and powerbomb Jeff through Matt through the tables.
But the Dudleys are awesome, and the Hardys sold this great, especially Jeff.
Yes. So yeah, there's the
Jeff looked like
he looked like
a
Homer.
slinky.
That too. That's a good
Going
one.
down the
That's good.
stairs.
I would say Homer bending backwards over the fire hydrant.
Yes.
But yes, he ends up because one of the bottom tables doesn't break very well. He's just hanging off the edge of it.
I didn't get Bubba ordering Bradshaw around.
He paid him.
I understand that.
He wants his money's worth.
I'm assuming this relationship will not last long.
Sometimes the, the constant yelling and screaming and ordering around isn't worth your pay. Vinny?
What do you mean for?
I don't know.
I don't pay you.
Don't blame Vinny for that. Go ahead, Vince.
Hunter and Steph interrupt Cactus and the Radicals and say, "We have decided you are not ready to hang in the WWF. We're
Too short.
We're demanding you leave." And the Radicals say, "Alright," and they go. Now, obviously, they would come back later. But seriously, this is your debut.
Hey, this is the good stuff.
This is the good stuff.
The bad stuff starts on SmackDown.
Yes. Hunter versus Kane for the world title is a ruse because Hunter knows Kane is somewhere with a broken heart. He buries him for crying, and watching Hunter, all I think is, "You're huge. You may outweigh Kane at this point."
Massive.
So Hunter makes some dick jokes. He says, "I'm going to go to the back and beat up Kane myself."
Oh my God. It took him 10 minutes to say, "You got 10 seconds to come out."
Yeah.
And then he starts counting, and he gets bored at 8. Starts walking backstage.
That's what happened. So Cactus comes out instead. He's upset Hunter threw the Radicals out. Finally, he goes to attack Hunter. And Hunter goes to leave, but the Radicals throw him back in. And then, you'll never guess, it takes 5 men to beat up Hunter. Not DX. Hunter, by himself. There's 5 dudes in there beating him up. And yeah, they lay him out. And then at the end, he just gets up and he's mad.
Yeah.
Well, he's Hunter the Great.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I guess they needed 12 men. Should have gone back for more filthy animals.
If only
Revolution.
Conan and Shane Douglas had jumped as well, he'd have been in big trouble.
He may have.
Shane with his cast.
So yeah, that was
Imagine
Raw.
Conan grabbing at his genitals in front of Hunter.
Like
How that would,
now.
that would have changed this invasion angle.
It certainly would have, in fact.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, now I'm imagining Conan doing his promos back and forth with DX's taglines. And you got suck it over here and toss my salad over here.
That'd be awesome.
It would have been it'd be memorable.
By the way, Brian, never do that again.
What are you talking about, Craig?
Check the video.
Are you ready, Vinny?
I'm prepared.
All right.
The finishes on this show were no finish due to mini invasion, pin after interference,
Mini invasion.
4 guys.
I thought you meant like minis, like they were
Oh,
short.
Brian.
That's what you... You said mini invasion.
What was a full-fledged invasion? There's not 50 guys
I
coming in.
see a mini invasion.
Jesus. Clean pin and a handicap
Well, they're
match.
short.
Thank you. Pin after a guy tried to leave but got thrown back in. Pin after interference in a fucking snow match. Pin in a handicap match. DQ due to chair shot, the only DQ in the show.
Wow.
And there were many.
I interrupted you repeatedly. You still got that done in
There were not
seconds. What a boring show.
Things have calmed down on Finishers Report lately.
It's true.
That'll change here.
WCW Monday Night number 228. So, January 31st of the year 2000.
So you remember last week when I said they did that weird thing where during a commercial
Have to be
break,
more specific.
during a commercial break in that Sid match, they had the referee announced that Sid had to return because he pinned the wrong guy and Sid refused, and so they disqualified him?
Sure.
Okay. They actually brought that up on Thunder. Okay. So I know that because they very, very briefly showed. This was the shittiest recap of all time. Like the show opens and they go, Sid has regained the WCW title. I thought, Sid regained WCW title. What do you mean regained? And they show this fucking like 10-second recap, and there's like a Harris twin and Sid and a referee, and then there's Nash and another Harris in a cage, and then there's Sid celebrating with a belt. That's literally the whole fucking recap. What happened here?
Hey,
Did we pretend? Like, all I ask, I do these recaps here, like, I can go back and find out what happened. That's not what I want to do here. I'm recapping what happened on the show. I'm hoping that maybe, like, somebody will listen to this someday and end up in a position of power somewhere and learn a fucking lesson. And today's lesson is, don't presume we watch Thunder, of all fucking shows.
Yes.
Okay? Nobody watched Thunder. Like, people did. It's mind-numbing, okay? But, like, not everybody. So if you do something on Thunder or SmackDown, you gotta tell us what happened. Because we're only watching Nitro, like normal humans, and shit happens on the other show, and we don't fucking have any idea what's going on.
And there's no... This is the same guys on both shows.
Yes, what happened with Sid?
I got a tiny little morsel.
A morsel. Please,
More out of
Vinny.
this than you did. So Sid beat Nash on the Nitro main event to win the world title.
Yes, we saw that.
He goes to Thunder.
Yes.
On Thunder, Commissioner Nash strips Sid of the belt. I had no idea why.
Because of the wrong Harris.
The wrong Harris. Okay. Nash strips Sid of the title and crowns himself champion. And then books himself and a Harris versus Sid in a cage match with the title on the line.
Oh my gosh.
And Sid won that and won the title again.
Why bother?
So in the past, like, 15 days, 18 days, Bret Hart, Chris Benoit, and Sid have all forfeited and or been stripped of this title.
Yes.
And Nash lost it
What the fuck?
in a handicap match.
And Nash lost in a handicap.
So is Nash officially the champion? Is like Ed in the record books that he's the champion again? I'm gonna find
I'm
out.
assuming Kevin Nash was champion for 2 hours on SmackDown, or on Thunder. Earlier today, Kevin Nash is not on the show, mourning, I assume, his championship loss. He makes Jeff Jarrett the acting commissioner.
I don't think the story is over, by the way. I mean, just for those of you that
This
are,
championship?
the story with Sid and
Oh, probably not.
everybody. All right, so Sid won the title. Oh God. Okay, so all right, it's worse than you think, Vinny. Going back to September 12th. Okay, you ready?
Sure.
Sting vacated. Bret Hart vacated. Bret Hart vacated. Chris Benoit vacated. Sid vacated.
Oh my God.
Kevin Nash listed as champion. Sid wins the championship. And there are so many notes about what went on here. But I guess to cut to the chase, because Nash declared himself champion, okay? Because he declared himself champion, he was the first man to be defeated for the championship, going all the way back to September when Sting defeated Hulk Hogan. Okay. And there have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 title changes in between.
Excellent. That's outstanding. Hey, did you know WCW is dead?
I was aware.
Isn't it funny how that works?
It's amazing.
So Jerry and the crew go for a walk. This show is also in Pennsylvania, in I believe it's Wilkes-Barre. Wilkes-Barre. Mark Madden is taking over for Bobby Heenan. They say Bobby's just sick, but I think it's ended up being a permanent move.
Poor Bobby.
Yeah.
I miss him already.
The NWO comes out for a promo with a bunch of lovely young women. Does anyone know who the gal in the blue was?
I'm still looking at this tape, this title thing
Well,
here.
I hope she's on next week.
I had her name like 2 weeks ago, and
The Kevin Nash title win apparently was never officially recognized by WCW.
Oh, I will update my records.
But Geeks on Wikipedia, in canon,
Hey,
Kevin Nash was the champion.
I would trust the geeks on Wikipedia way more than people writing WCW.
I mean, I don't know. Nash doesn't deserve this here, but
by the way, did you realize what Scott Steiner's role on this show was? Scott Steiner came out here with a promo.
Yeah.
And
He called the local women ugly.
Right. And then after that, for the next hour and 45 minutes, he sat on a couch with lovely women.
Yeah.
for the whole show.
Yeah.
He's figured it out.
And
Where do you get this gig?
there were 80 guys who were at home making the money, not even traveling to the building.
Yeah. He
I'm
didn't
just
show
saying,
up.
you had to
Going
be
to
there.
their local strip club and hanging out with women
This was
on
pretty
WCW's
close.
time. Right?
But yes, Craig, Scott Steiner has it figured out.
I'll say.
And to answer your question of how do you get this job, first you must be Scott Steiner.
Dude, Hall did the same thing. He didn't have to talk.
You have to be Scott Hall.
So anyway, Jared comes out, says Nash won't be here tonight. I am the new commissioner, and there's business to take care of. Steiner calls the women corn-fed heifers, has all the women take their shirts off to reveal their bodies, announces that Heavy D and Big Ronnie are now in the NWO. Heavy D and Big Ronnie
The Harris twins.
are now in the NWO. Sweet. Fans chant asshole at Jarrett.
Sure.
He announces he's the new #1 contender for the title.
Why? How?
Says
Commissioner.
him and the Heresies will face Sid and two partners later tonight.
That's a great tag team name, actually.
Wants to run the show like Big Kev. He will take bribes, and you know where to find him. I was entertained by Jarrett. Should he be the world champion? No.
No, of course not.
But he was entertaining here.
They came out here. They had some women. Scott did some comedy, or whatever you want to call it, what Scott Steiner does. Jared made his points, and they were done. When this promo was over, the show was only 10 minutes old. So this promo was like 5 minutes. Great. Sid arrives in the building. I think Sid, 19 years ago, heard the promo you cut last week on his tiny hat.
Yeah, his fucking hat's back.
No, it's tinier. I think it's
I'm not sure.
It's going to be a smaller hat every week.
I'm not sure.
And he's got the I know this is 2000 now, but he's got the 1990s super bright, colorful tracksuit on too.
Yes.
It's like powder blue. A limo arrives. It's Ric Flair. He gets out and clearly wishes he was still at home. He regrets showing up to this building.
Well, it was cold out.
It was very cold and muddy out. Big T, Stevie Ray, and is it Jay Biggs?
Jay Biggs.
Jay Biggs walk backstage.
These guys. That's Curtis Mason, right?
Yes. From the
Clarence Mason.
Clarence Mason from the Nation of Domination. Arn and Terry Funk are backstage vowing to get the job done tonight, and Terry wants Arn to get Flair, and Arn says, oh, he's back there somewhere. Go find him yourself. I'm not doing justice to how annoying this was. I'm like thinking it was these are the top babyfaces. Yeah, it would get better. Cruiserweight tournament match, Lash LaRue versus Evan Courageous.
Hey, I enjoyed this match.
There's nothing wrong with this.
Lash looked pretty good. Evan is night and day better than the Medusa feud.
Yep.
3 count kept trying to interfere.
It's a great gimmick.
Lash foiled him again, got the clean pin, and the people went crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there was still hope.
There was wrestling.
There was hope.
Hope to be dashed, I might add.
3 counts of fun gimmick. They come out and dance like geeks. They cheat like crazy, but it never
Yep.
works.
Yep.
They always get beaten anyway.
Yep.
This is a lot of fun. Lash won with a cravat leg sweep.
They look too much like backyarders, though.
Well,
I do watch the show, and it's kind of like there's like wrestlers on the other show. This is dudes on their trampoline.
they had.
And I realize I once wrestled in cargo pants.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have the
I was a
Hardy's.
fucking geek.
They have the Hardy's uniform on.
Yes.
The NWO is cutting a promo that I cannot hear. I think we rejected some food.
Yes.
Dustin Rhodes tells us not to try this at home. Where's he been, by the way?
They're gonna repackage him.
Oh, great. It's about time he got his 14th new gimmick. Gene interviews David Flair, Crowbar, and Daphne.
These people.
David's just crazy. Daphne's just screaming. And then Crowbar does his Gordon Solie impression.
Yeah.
But I think it's supposed to be, like, funny in a bad way.
It's pretty good.
But he's
It's a little funny, and it's awesome.
Yes.
He sold me so good on this tag match there with the Mama Lukes.
Yes, he was great on commentary last week. No one noticed.
He was great. And the Mama Lukes attack and the match is on. It is David Flair and Crowbar versus the Mama Lukes in a Bensonhurst street fight.
I love how the Mamalukes attack them, and far deep in the background you hear ding, ding, ding. They rang the bell from ringside. They start fighting the backstage
They
area.
actually leave the building entirely. They go outside to do backdrops in the snow.
That was awesome.
That's where you take them.
Yeah.
Disco's on commentary. He announces that even though the team is called the Mamalukes, they're not Mamalukes.
No.
They're Paisans.
Paisans.
I'm like, well, why are they the fucking Mamalukes then? Right?
Well,
Paisans was already taken, I guess.
because they don't get to choose their own name, apparently.
But that's dumb.
This is a total ECW brawl to the point where not only was Vito doing New Jack spots, he was strutting and dancing like New Jack.
Like when Disco's
Probably
talking
had earphones on with Natural Born Killers playing.
about Johnny the Bully, he goes, he's 23 years old. He's been in jail a lot. This is one of the ways he put him over.
Yes. That's how you gotta get over in Brooklyn, he says.
Yes.
So the camera has no idea where to focus. Guys are just fighting everywhere. Miss Hancock comes out. Disco constantly says his men don't need his help. Then it says he sings like Mighty Mouse, "Here I am to save the day," and he hits the ring, and it's a street fight, so it's fine. And they splash the crowbar through a table, and they pin him.
I don't know if you watched this match or not, but David Flair and Vito were together 90% of the time, and Vito gave him nothing.
Yes.
Nothing. He didn't give him one thing. He beat the shit out of him unrepentingly the entire match, and then they won in the end.
Brian, have you seen David Flair work?
I have, but like, your job, it was just bullshit. Give the guy something. Do a reversal and run into the stairs so you have to do all the fucking work or something.
Okay.
Give the guy something.
Booker T and Midnight go for a walk. Brian Knobbs goes to bribe Jarrett.
All right, here's another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude. So, Knobbs and Finley hated each other.
Yes.
And then one fucking day, Finley is training Knobbs.
In the woods.
And I'm like, wait a second. Why is Finley training Knobbs?
In the woods.
So Finley trains Knobbs, and then they're together for a while, and
Cut off
now,
the bullet.
all of a sudden, Knobbs is sick of Finley.
Yes. Been tired of being ordered around.
I have no idea what's happening. And here's Knobbs' brilliant idea. I don't like Finley in this company. We must get rid of him. Who could take out Finley once and for all? You know, maybe the total package. And he bribes Jarrett. Jarrett says, no problem. Finley in the package. They'll be in the same ring tonight. I knew immediately where it was telegraphed.
Booker T comes out.
Okay, hold on a second. The show gets better, everybody. His music dies midstream. Jay Biggs comes out. He says, this music is owned by Harlem Heat Incorporated. Booker, you're no longer part of that group. You can no longer use music. I'm like, fine. That makes sense. He says, Harlem Heat have collaborated on a new song for you. I'm like, it's got to be like Big T and Stevie doing the worst rapping ever. Like, just something horrible. Instead, it's just a fucking song.
Yes, I kind of liked it.
Jay Biggs goes,
Happy rock song.
meaningless music for a meaningless person. And I'm thinking, what meaning is there behind the Harlem Heat thing? None. Harlem Heat theme has nothing to it. It's just a fucking song.
Yeah.
But now in storyline, it's very meaningful.
Sure.
But this music is meaningless. So then he says, the letter T is the property of Harlem Heat.
Oh, somewhere the count from Sesame Street is sobbing.
The letter T,
Can't count. Oh, I'm sorry.
this is a letter.
Keep going.
The letter T is now the property of Harlem Heat.
That's fair. So number 4.
He claims copyright infringement, which it would not be. It would be trademark infringement.
Yes. If you could trademark the
If
letter
you
T.
could trademark a fucking name or a letter, neither of which you can. Clarence Mason, the worst attorney of all time. Stevie actually could be a good attorney. He goes, no more flames, copyrighted, trademarked, no more music. You, he says, may as well become G.I. Bro again. Then they give the microphone to Big T. What did he say?
He said, I should have written it down. He took 3 words. I actually understood. I understood what he was trying to say and what actually came out of his mouth. But he took 3
He said
words.
Hava-Kalufa. He says something.
That's close. He took 3 words and somehow combined them into one. And all his consonants are Z's.
Dude.
He's not good.
Did you notice that some fan was heckling him off to the side? So he lifts up his
He did a
fist.
Star Lord cranking middle finger.
Yes, and then the camera sees what he's doing, and they quickly pan right.
Yes.
Because he's going to flip off somebody on national TV.
Yeah.
So then he says,
So Harlem Heat leaves.
no, he goes, if you have a problem with me owning the letter T, we can settle this right now.
Man,
But they don't.
how are you going to write a newsletter?
And then Jay Biggs says,
Are you going to write anything?
Booker, you have no wrestling license anymore. What? My leaving the group, you lost your wrestling license?
Well, because his license.
No, Vinny. I've had a wrestling license.
Was your name on it?
This is the... Yes, of course my name was on
Well,
it.
you've had one too. That's a long time ago. I've had one.
Point being, Brian, he can't use that name anymore.
Vinny, get out of here, you moron. Midnight comes down, throws Jay Biggs in the ring, but then Harlem Heat comes down, they beat up Booker.
Slowly.
What a stupid fucking
Booker
storyline.
T is in the ring beating up Clarence Mason for like 5 minutes, and here comes Big T and Stevie Ray sauntering out to the ring. Did we mention when Jay Biggs said Booker had been hoodwinking and bamboozling the people?
Well,
So, last thing, a light bulb went off over my head when Stevie said if Booker needed to get the GI Bro suit back on, we need a GI Bro Matt Riddle tag team. Ooh, that would be awesome. 3 count attacks Norman Smiley backstage. Jarrett stooges off knobs to Finley.
he's back there and he says, some fat tub of goo tried to buy me off. And Finley goes, that big pig, she's buried Dobbs. He's not that fat, but boy, were they all over his weight.
So Jarrett makes Finley the referee for a Lex Luger-Brian Knobbs match. Cut to Brian Knobbs, the one person who actually watches this show. His plan has been foiled. He has to wrestle Lex Luger. He throws a tantrum. He's throwing chairs and furniture. He goes to open the door with his locked little thingy and open it. My question on all this is, if you've been watching this show for the past, year, why is Lex Luger suddenly the scariest guy in the roster?
Fuck if I
Why are they
know.
afraid to fight Mang or Tank Abbott?
I
Or
don't
Lex?
It
One of
should
the
have been
Steiners.
Tank.
Or Steiner?
Either of them.
100 guys scarier than Lex Luger on the show. Norman finds the Demon's casket. He attempts to hide in there.
Remember I asked you, what is that? Is he between two dinosaurs?
This is the picture that loads when you load up the show on the
Yes.
network. It's Norman hiding the casket.
It's like Norman's in Jurassic Park. There's a velociraptor on each
and
side.
the casket then devours him.
This casket looks like a cocoon.
Yeah. Billy Kidman versus The Wall.
Why is the Wall getting a push of all people?
That's a great question.
The Wall. He beats the shit out of Kidman forever.
The wall's been pushed for a long time, actually.
I don't think Kidman got one move in this.
I think I can wash it.
Any offense, and then Tori takes the ref. Vampiro comes out and kicks the wall, and Kidman pins him. Could you have designed a segment to make everyone look like more of a geek? Everyone here looks like a geek. So Kidman goes to confront Vampiro for some reason, but we never find out because he cut away to show Ric Flair walking. I'm exhausted. So
Well, let me do the next segment.
Right.
My favorite segment of all time.
Oh yeah.
Ric Flair comes out and the fans go crazy for him. He's now 50, by the way. He's a 50-year-old Ric Flair in World Championship Wrestling in the year 2000. It's impossible for this man to be a heel. But he's Flair. He demands he be a heel. So this fucking guy comes out here and he's trying so hard to be a heel. He's yelling at the people. He's telling the fat boys to ask their wives and girlfriends who the man is.
He buried literally every college and pro sports team in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yep, and they are cheering him louder and louder the more heelish he gets.
My favorite line where it talks about Space Mountain is the oldest ride in the park, but it's still got the longest line.
He said that 50,000 times in his
I know.
career. So he tells a story of how the powers to be had the audacity to call him at home and ask him to come back and be the commissioner. And he says, why would you want the greatest wrestler alive to be the commissioner? Apparently that was supposed to be a heel line, but everyone's like, yeah, why the fuck would you ever ask that? He says they called him and asked him to come here, and so here he is. He's going to get this company up and rolling again. But he has to clarify one thing. That is the former commissioner, Mr. Terry Funk. He says, Terry Funk is Terry Funk, and I'm Ric Flair, and there's a big difference. So out comes Terry Funk.
I just want to say before we get any farther,
How awesome this promo was.
partly, actually, yeah, because
Unbelievably great.
we see a lot of Crazy Flair promos, and we say Ric Flair cut a great Crazy Flair promo. This was, by his own standards,
Awesome.
unbelievably great.
Yes.
This was this may have been the best Crazy Flair promo of the year 2000, of the 2000s, of the 90s, whatever you want to call it, every Nitro ever. This was a one-of-a-kind, all-time great Crazy Ric Flair promo.
So he cuts this unbelievable promo, and Terry Funk comes out. Terry Funk is supposed to be the babyface here. He gets booed.
He's passionately booed. May I be his opening line? Flair, you banana-nosed, horse-toothed, evil bastard.
Yes. That's his first line. You banana-nosed, horse-toothed, evil bastard. So Funk has been motivated by Flair, apparently.
I guess.
Because he cuts the best promo he's cut in a decade.
Yep.
He says, Flair, you've been champion more than anybody. You've made millions in this sport. You're a common name in every household throughout the world, but I sense a tinge of jealousy in your voice. He says it comes from Mick Foley's book and a statement that he made, one sentence, and that was that you would not make a decent-sized pimple on Terry Funk's ass. And he's so proud to say the word ass on any given day. So forget this pettiness and join me against the NWO.
That was his recruiting speech.
Yes. He says, you could help me in my fight against the NWO. You could help raise up WCW, but you don't want to do any of that. You, Ric Flair, need to grow up. Look at your goddamn idiot son. He needs discipline from his father. If I was his father, I'd take him behind the barn, strap him to a sawhorse, and beat that little son of a bitch. And I'd beat him and teach him some respect.
Again, this was his recruiting pitch.
Yes. He says, you just go be the governor. You leave Arn and myself to deal with the NWO. I don't want you around. You don't have enough sense to be around. You horse-toothed, banana-nosed bastard. So then now Flair's angry. Flair says, if Foley thinks I'm a pimple on your ass, he hasn't watched TV in 27 years. He says, I have more world titles than you have cows on that little tiny chicken ranch of his.
Chicken ranch?
Chicken ranch my ass, says Terry Funk. He's outraged.
Never seen a man so infuriated by the claim he has a chicken ranch.
Those were the fighting words. He said that Terry Funk had a chicken ranch. So Flair threatens to kick the shit out of him, which gets bleeped. Funk runs down to the ring. I am just like on cloud nine. This is the greatest professional wrestling I've ever seen in my life.
It's phenomenal.
And they run down and they're going to get a brawl. And then it's a 54-year-old Terry Funk and a 50-year-old Ric Flair. And they can barely do anything.
The last thing is right before it gets physical. Flair notes Funk is wearing a Living Legend t-shirt.
Oh,
That's it.
temerity.
So they had a little brawl. It quickly got separated, and that was that. But yes, the verbal war here was an all-timer.
It was so good. Like, Tuesdays, I'm so strapped for time. I just don't have time to go back and watch anything twice. Like, maybe when this show is over, I'm going to watch this 10 times. It was so awesome. Oh, my God.
We then cut from there to the NWO locker room for exactly 3 seconds. Just enough time to hear Jeff Jarrett say, it looks like we just found Sid 2 partners. No more time than that, no less. Gene interviews Sid backstage. Sid promises to powerbomb someone to hell.
Actually, a great promo.
Miss Hancock's legs are upset at Lenny and Lodi for not wearing their suits. Lenny and Lodi say they're sick of stupid gimmicks. We were just here to be eye candy to get you over. This is a shitty place to work, and they leave.
No, she goes,
They were the eye candy?
she goes, you're lucky you even have a job in this company. And Lenny Lane goes, yeah, we're lucky to have a job in WCW. It's horrible. The fucking burial. This is why the company died, but I howled at that line.
Lex versus Brian Knobbs with Fit Finley as ref.
I zoned out, so I didn't watch
Didn't miss anything. Not even 3 years ago, Lex Luger submitted Hulk Hogan clean to win the world title and be like, for 1 hour or so, this big giant star. We're not even 3 years later. It looks like he's aged 30 years. He can't do anything. It's heartbreakingly sad to watch this. So, Finley levels Knobbs. This is the middle of the match. Nobody cares. There's a couple of boring chants. Knobbs drops some elbows. Tony says Knobbs almost blew himself up with those 3 elbows. And finally, Liz hits Knobbs with the bat. Finley just leaves. Lex and Liz Pillmanize Knobbs' arm. He's still in the knockout. So the stomping on his chair in his arm is not even moving. This doesn't help anything. The bell rings, just an awful segment, and as Lex is leaving, he has the audacity to call himself, of all people, the Cal Ripken of wrestling. The guy who lasted forever. And he called out Hulk Hogan again.
Well, I did wake up when the Kiss Demon was talking to the cops. He's explaining his stuff got stolen. And the line he says is, and I quote, "What do you think it looked like? It looked like Kiss."
Well, it happened in before, right before the commercial. Remember when the casket devoured
Yes,
Norman?
yes.
Casket opened back up, and now he's in the Kiss gear.
Yes.
So I guess it's like the poles in the Batcave.
Sure.
You slide down, you automatically put the costume on.
Apparently, there's a little person in there painting faces.
Yes.
I guess.
Yes. So we get the Screaming Demon, Norman Smiley, versus Shane Helms. So yes, 3 counts gimmick is they get to interview all the time. It's never a DQ, but it doesn't matter because they always get beat. During this match, the announcers say, "We have just received a phone call from Hulk Hogan promising to confront Lex on Thursday." They couldn't even bother to have Hulk call in and record it. No. They just must tell us Hulk Hogan called in and said he'd be there on Thursday.
And when I was watching, it was like, all the big stuff's happening on Thunder. Like, the last thing Nitro needs right now is to be the B show. And, like, it's the B show.
I guess so.
How were the ratings on Thunder?
Not as good as Nitro.
Really? And Thunder ran unopposed.
Yes.
So Norman and Shane had a fun match. Norman, as always, fought off the interference and won with the Norman Conquest, which is a great name for a move. And the Demon comes out with the cops to chase Norman through the stands, and they were having the slowest chase you've ever seen. When to the back. Mean Gene is interviewing Dallas Page and Kimberly, both of whom have their chests hanging out. Kim talks about how they're back together, and our life's a roller coaster and whatever, and the Mamalukes walk up.
What? When did they get back together? What the hell's going on here?
Apparently as of right now.
She says our relationship is back stronger and sexier than ever.
If she wore that shirt, I'd take her back in a heartbeat.
Dude. Mama Luke's walk up.
Am I wrong, Vinny?
She looked good, correct? Thank you.
They're mugging behind him, and Vito pinches her ass. And she turns around, there's Disco.
Yes.
And he goes, "I did not pinch your ass."
You don't bimbo.
And no, he didn't do that. He just said, "I didn't do it." And then she says, "He pinched my ass." Now Disco's pissed.
I see.
"I did not pinch your ass, you dumb bimbo." So Paige beats his ass. They brawl in the crowd, and Paige wins. I was over the show by now.
Wow. Paige one-way cut her out of nowhere after a lot of crowd.
It wasn't bad.
It was pointless.
It was just too long and late in the show. I watched too much wrestling.
Jarrett and the Heresies walk. Sid walks. I thought he said something, so I rewound it to check. He didn't say what I thought he said. What he did say was his own name over and over again. Sid. Sid. Sid.
That's how you psych yourself up.
I guess. Terry Funk walks. We get Jeff Jarrett and the Harris Twins versus Sid Vicious and Terry Funk and Ric Flair no-shows.
You know, I love Sid. He's amazingly awful. You ever seen him throw a punch?
Oh, yeah.
It's hideous.
I can see it in my mind's eye. I can see it right
So
now.
in this match, he's beating up 2 men at the same time. Wow. Sid beating up 1 man is hilarious. Sid beating up 2 men at the same time is inconceivable.
So it's one of those matches where there's like 5 minutes of crowd brawling, then a tag match breaks out. They got the heat on Funk.
Oh, he's 54, and they just beat on him for like 10 minutes, and he's exhausted. He can't move. He took the most horrible bump for a clothesline. He missed a punch on Jarrett so bad that the announcers had to acknowledge it, even though Jarrett took a bump anyway. It was getting sad.
Yeah.
And finally, he did make the most dramatic hot tag I've ever seen to Sid.
It was funny because he had a pile driver first. So I thought, you're doing fine. You don't need to tag out. And then he stands up and he teeters for about 20 minutes, reaching out to tag Sid. And he finally tags Sid in. So let's see. When Sid tags in, Flair runs out and attacks Funk. So now it's 3-on-1 against Sid. He powerbombs the Harris, but Jarrett hits him with a guitar and pins him, and they go off the air 10 seconds later.
It was so ironic that of all people, Jeff Jarrett, a co-founder of Impact Wrestling,
Yes.
he pins the world champion, and they just go off the air immediately. I couldn't even believe it. That was the end of the show. The show was exciting.
Was it?
Parts of it were.
Parts of